So TC2000 is what this trading platform is, and this is what I use for trading, day trading, swing trading. I also use trade ideas, and I also have a thinkorswim set up as well. However, most of my time is spent in thinkorswim, and the main reason for that is because it's just by far, well, I shouldn't say by far. I mean, I think trade ideas is pretty great for scanning too, but it's just for the speed of being able to get through things, and also the scanning is I think far superior than thinkorswim. So I mean, you have to pay for this. So it better be, I guess it should be, right? So it makes sense. But then also, I have custom scripts. Well, you could call them scripts, I guess, in thinkorswim. And then here, custom coding or the PCF personal criteria formula that TC2000 uses. So I have a lot of things color coded, which I do think for me, I know is important. I kind of look at it as at the color coding as signals. So like here is a signal, potential buy signal, green, right? After you had a downtrend, which pink for me is a downtrend. White is essentially sideways basing, and blue is an uptrend. And then when it gets to orange, that's like a really hot uptrend. And sometimes, look, when it goes from orange to blue, that could be a signal that maybe the trend is fading, maybe. So that's how I have it set up in here. And then what I also like is you can just quickly and easily switch between time frames if you have the platform downloaded on your computer. So actually this is a Mac, so it doesn't really work too well for intraday, the keyboard shortcuts. It does. I have a Windows laptop as well where it does work. I think it's I forget what it is, but you can go from 1 day, 2 day. I don't really use it 2 day, 3 day, 4 day, but I often flip between the 5, and then I'll look at the monthly, sometimes quarterly, annually. It's like just like that easy. I'm just typing 9. So that's another reason that I like it. But I have my scan layouts in here, the bull combo essentially, and then you can set this up where if you're getting a lot on your bull combo, like right now it's set up like 52-week high, and so with an 80% of a 52-week high. The 50 simple moving average is moving up. The ADX is above 18. ADR is above 4. So if you take those things off, well, then you have 55 names on your list. And then I like the watch list. You can also set up all these custom things here. So I'm not always using all these. I mean, I have them here so you can quickly filter. But what I do like to look at is the rate of change over the last 22 days and 50 days. And I usually have it sorted by the strongest, right? So strength begets strength, I guess, until it doesn't. You can see, okay, this is showing up in the bull combo, but it's actually been, this when you sort it from the worst to fastest, you can see like, a lot of these are in downtrends, maybe starting to get going. So oftentimes I might have a couple bull combo scans going and just duplicate these. You can just duplicate and have one set and have one that has more filters on it. This price growth one is, I like to filter that one. Let's say active, and that is set up. So we're looking at stocks. I usually like to start by looking at that type of list. So you're looking at like some of the strongest movers. If we come in here, we go to PG, right? So this is looking at price growth ranks over the last, so it ranked in the top basically 92% the past 1 year or 3 month or 1 month or 5 day. So, and has higher dollar volume. So that's a way to filter for the stronger stocks, right? If you don't want to look at those stocks that really, maybe they're just making a move that day, and it could be the start of something. If there's a catalyst, the news over here. So that's another thing. The news I have here set up, and actually I'm testing this out where I'm paying for the TC2000 news. I don't know that it's definitely not as good as the Fly or Briefing or some of these other news sources, but it's just the ease of convenience. And then if you come into this pre-market layout here, what's also great, actually no, let's go to like, if you, let's see if I can get an example here. So if you find one, sometimes like, yeah, you can click on the article, great. But if you have something, this morning is kind of slow right now. I mean, there's nothing in this flag scan, and there's only, and it's still early, it's only 7:30, it's 4 items here. But if you click on this, sometimes it'll say like, okay, this RMCO is up, and here are 3 other stocks that are moving. You click on that list, and it'll bring up a watch list of those stocks, which I think is pretty cool. So, but this is my main layout. I mean, pre-market layout here. So this is set to pre-market scanner here, and then the bull is set to the watch list is. Edit this here. I've got U.S. common stocks, ETF, ADR, which are like China stocks, and then it just has a dollar volume and a minimum ADR here. And then from there, I filter down here. So then I can go through EP, and then I also have, this is the microcap list here. So it's only going to give me stocks that are microcap, and sometimes I won't even filter that. I'll just go by percent change and see what's up the most. And then a bear combo scan, which and when the market's like so hot like now, I tend to really not even look at that. Or I'll look at it just to see like, okay, what's moving down, and see if there's looking more for themes, like there are group themes. Up here, I'll have all my flagged items, and this is another scan, which is I'm testing out here. But I also have another watch list that I'll typically have up here as well. And then here I have positions. So right now everything is green. That's the way I like to keep it. Very important. Recent trades. This is looking at today, so obviously I haven't made any trades today. And you know, sometimes I'll just take this list and copy it into there. So I'm not looking at the how much I'm up. But that is, I mean, I think it's important to really look for what's been up the most. And then obviously you want something to come out of a tighter consolidation. You know, something like here where it made a move up. So it broke out of this little box, you could call it, or consolidation, and it made a move up 40%. Then it went sideways for 9 bars of continuation setup. Then it popped up here again. Really could have got it even in here. And then now it's made another leg up. So another 40%, probably going to consolidate with how fast it's going up. But then I also have, just getting into the charts, I talked briefly about the color coding here, and I've experimented with several, probably almost every indicator on a TC2000, and I've also color coded things a million different ways, and I also have used moving average and averages and such. But what I really love about TC2000 I didn't talk about was the anchor VWAP. And just the ease of creating lines and anchor VWAP. So I come in here, anchor VWAP from that date, and you can see it broke out above that, right? And then you had it, if you could do it from here, broke out there from that consolidation. And then even in intraday trading, you can do it in like even a 1-minute chart. So I like to look for wherever the big volume bars, you know, and like here, right there. So that's been a support. So I just found like I'm using these a lot more, and with having these and moving averages, the chart, it just gets to be too cluttered. So that's I'm working more towards having these anchor VWAPs. So I can, there's more to it than just what I've covered here. Maybe a topic for another video. Then you can go horizontal lines. It's really easy to put in lines. It'll catch, if you want it to catch like this high, it'll automatically go to that high. Let's see. And then the other things I don't really use too much. Let me just clean this up here. So you can come up here, over here, erase all. So I'm just holding down my mouse and hitting my space bar. And then you can put in text. Move it out of the way. Arrow, if you wanted to. I don't really use that. So down here I have dollar volume. So this is what I really like, this setup that I have. I like to see the dollar volume if I'm going through. So I don't really work from a watch list per se. I'm working from scans. So if I'm coming across something and the dollar volume is like, I want to know. I look at the dollar volume here, and then I have dollar volume here as well. Like this is the average. So if it's averaging 558,000 a day, and is that right? Let me see. Dollar volume. Actually, that might not be right. So let's look at AMD. Dollar volume 62 million. 6.6 billion. I have to look at that. Something doesn't sound right there. Let's go to SkyT. It's done picked up yesterday. Dollar volume. 90-day dollar. So it's looking at the 90-day dollar volume. So the 90-day dollar volume is 16,000. Which doesn't seem right, because here you got dollar volume, it's saying 822,000. I'll have to check into this. But anyway, essentially this here, I'm looking at, okay, it's traded yesterday 6.3 million, right? And there are instances, I'm trying to think of one. If I'm using this intraday, let's look at when something's moving up really fast and there's a huge percent gain, that's where I think the dollar volume indicator really is important. If I look at maybe a 1 minute chart on this. Yeah, so you can kind of see, like, I don't remember if this is the time frame I was looking at this, but you can see here where the dollar volume is much higher than here, right? And in here the share volume is higher, but the actual share volume here is lower. Well, that's because the price went from 430 to, I mean, it doubled, right? So you can see how, you know, here it's going up, and now the dollar volume is lower, and the volume is lower. So I don't know. That's something that I like to look at. But I have them both in my chart because I also have set different little dots down here. So let's look at a video. So I got the price bars color coded. Then I have color coding down here. Right, so you can see, okay, so this is turning green, kind of giving you a heads up when it's down here. And then when it flips up, that's like more of a solid uptrend. And then when it's blue, it's just pulling back, right? It's pulling back, and then here, turn green again. You know, and this stuff, it's just like, yeah, it's there, it's simple. You know, if you're trading from an intraday and you're emotional and greedy or fearful, like, you become blind to a lot of these indicators. So that's where, if you don't have a game plan, you can really get into a lot of trouble. So yeah, they're great, they're there, but you can still blow up your account. That doesn't mean, just because they're there, doesn't mean really anything, other than, are you able to see what's in front of you? That's, I think, the more important thing. Are you able to see the price action and the trend and the volume? So here, I was playing around with this a little bit last night with this ADX, but we can look at it over here. Let me see. Oh, the other thing is you can easily change between chart setups. So I have various chart setups where this one looks at compared to the industry group, compared to the SPY, I've got just a blank chart set up, and I can quickly and easily switch between them. So let's go back to what I was talking about here. Look at a weekly chart. So the ADX is another trend indicator. Basically, I have it set to when it's above 25, it turns green. So if you're looking at, like, let's say Tesla on a daily chart, it's a little slower sometimes to react, especially in a longer time frame. But you can look at this and say, let me see. On a daily, let me just see and get this out of the way. It's blue, like it's basically it's underwater. Is kind of how I think of it. Like, yeah, it's moving up, but it's rating it's kind of another way to rate a stock quickly. So it's 13. Whereas here, look, when it turned, it got above 25, and it just stayed up right the whole time. So some of these other ones. Like when UPST had a nice run, and then you can see divergence here, right? So this went down while this is going up. So sometimes I'll just take this off the ADX. I'll remove it because I don't like to look at so many things. I'm always fighting a battle with myself, and like I want to have a lot of indicators, but then like the less is more. So. But if you're just like going through a bunch of stocks really quickly, and you're trying to trade stuff that's in a solid, strong uptrend, well, when you see the ADX down here, that's a quick way to eliminate it, right? Depending on your style of trading. So, but then also the volume, I have this set up where to give me different signals. That's all color coded differently. So, yeah, I think there's more I could go into there. These dots are set up for new highs, new lows down here. So that's a quick and easy way just to see, like, if you're looking at a weekly chart of Mara. Okay, well, here's where it hit the new high, right? Right there. Okay, so just a quick way, an easy way to see it. And then this line here is 25, just based on the ADX. So that is kind of went into a little bit more detail than I thought I would here, explaining this. I hope you found this helpful. If you did, or if you have any, I'd love to hear feedback. Are you using TC2000? Do you have any tricks of the trade out? And you can also do these, just hit Shift D and you can draw lines very quickly. So yeah, give me a like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. And let me know if you found this helpful.